Hello and welcome once again to Solo Board Gaming presents ta-da! Warfighter, and this is the World War II tactical combat card game from DVG, Dan Verson Games, of course. And the informed among you will notice that my copy has the original artwork on the box, and I really like that. And again, this is one of the games that I'll never get rid of. It's one of the games I enjoy. It's one of the games that I play dozens of times. We're going to have a quick chat about the Warfighter series. For those of you that simply still do not know the game, absolutely fine. And we're going to have a look at my copy. What expansions do I have? Not a lot. And then we're going to get into a playthrough of a full mission. Yes, even now, after all this time, I really want to do a playthrough of a full mission using a new set of cards that I received the other day, and I'm really excited to play them. So, the original box art, has now changed for Warfighter World War II Tactical Combat Card Game, and there's the shiny back of the box. And of course, it's a Dan Verson game design. I love this game. Now, Warfighter, in all its guises, is a card game. Everything's cards, okay? So you have your missions and your objectives, they're cards. You have your terrain, cards. Your enemy are cards. Your action deck, your weapons, your equipment, the squad that you put together yourself. And the scale of this is a scale whereby we come down to each individual guy. So the scale is the individual soldier. And more than that, you are responsible for choosing your mission. So you got your mission briefing, okay? And then you are responsible for kitting yourself out. What weapons to achieve that mission are you going to carry? What weapons are you going to carry? What equipment are you going to carry? And what will be the makeup of the squad? You choose your squad. You choose your squad and their weapons. Given a number of build points with which to do that. So you have total control, utter and complete control as you go through the mission and fight your way through to your objectives. So there's nobody else to blame. If you fail your mission or you lose guys under your command, there's only you to blame. And this is one of those games that does that really, really well. And you can get really quite invested in it. It's a card war game, yes. Lots of sort of RPG role-playing game elements in it as well, particularly if you decide to take your guys through a campaign. Now then, as I said, Warfighter is available in many guises. This is Warfighter World War II, and in the World War II part of the series, you have various choices. You can have World War II Europe, which is this one. You can have World War II Pacific. They're working on World War II North Africa and Mediterranean. There's also Warfighter Modern. So you've got Warfighter Modern, Warfighter Modern Shadow War, Warfighter Modern, Private Military Contractor. That's self-explanatory. And we hear they are still working on Warfighter Fantasy. Oh, end of this year, beginning of next year, maybe, something like that, I imagine. So it's a huge series, but they're all the same in that you can take the rules, the core mechanics are going to work for any era at all, any era that you actually choose. It's a big series. It's card driven. Here's the board. There it is. There's the board. Okay, so you put your stacks of cards over there. We'll cover that in a bit. Your terrain, your mission and objective cards go here, with your terrain cards that get dealt out in between those cards. And we'll be building our team with which to fight down here. But what have I got in my box? Let's have a look. Now look, don't judge me, guys. Some of you are going to say, my gosh, what a messy box. I'm sure you are. So, here's my box, and everything's in there. No, I'm fibbing, everything's not in there. I have my counters, look, see, I have my counters in these two trays. But theoretically, actually, although the box lid wouldn't fit exactly, I could put them in there. But anyway, this is my core game, and even has my expansions in it. And the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice which expansions they are. So in the core game, you're gonna get your styles. So you go out, you buy Warfighter WW2, which is the best one. Come on, let's face it, it's the best one, isn't it? Warfighter WW2, and you're going to get a full deck of, look at all those, a full deck of German hostiles. These will be your enemy. Now, don't get me wrong, if you then want to play the Germans rather than the AI play the Germans, you can do that, because you can buy expansions with German troops in them. Yes, German player soldiers, non-player soldiers, and squads, if that's what you want to do. And there's all your hostiles there. Now, you'll find these hostile packs, okay, divided between elite and frontline. Okay, so frontline have all the standard stats. Okay, and believe you me, I still now even play with the frontline deck. It's hard enough. I swear, guys, it is hard enough to play. Oh, look, large truck there, flamethrower. To play against the, and there's a half track. Okay, it's hard enough to play against the standard frontline soldiers without putting in elite units. But what I do sometimes is mix a couple of elites in with the standard frontline deck. That makes it more interesting, because you don't quite know who's going to come out of that deck anyhow. So you're going to get your hostiles deck, and of course you are going to get a standard deck of US Army World War II soldiers and their weapons. Here are their weapons. Look at those. Look at those. Grenade, grease gun, M1 carbine, M190 scoped rifle, M1 rifle, your Garand, your K-bar knife, your bazooka. Tons of weapons, yeah? Yes. Brilliant. Pistol, rifle grenade. And you're going to get your non-player soldiers. Here we go. Here's your squad with all their names. Look, Walsh, one of the favourites. Walsh, Allen, Smith, Taylor. And these are the squad guys. You see, and then you're going to get your player soldiers. Hernandez, Delay, Bailey, Andy, Kaczynski. We like Kaczynski. Scanlon, Rubble, and McDougall. Okay, with all their stats and characteristics. So that's what you're going to fight with endlessly, I assure you, just by getting the core deck. And of course, you're going to get skill cards. Okay, we'll be having a look at those next. You're going to get your mission cards and terrain cards. And you're going to get a massive, action deck. I'm not going to open it now, I'm just showing you what's in my box. So, what did I do? Oh, it's falling over. What have I done? Okay. I've gathered it all up underneath. There we go. So, oh, and a ton of dice. Right, so what did I do once I'd played a dozen games? And I did, I think 12, 13 times I played just with the core protagonists. I then went out and I bought UK Forces box, both 1 and 2. There they are. And I bought Russia box, both 1 and 2. And I absolutely love those. So I can fight my German hostiles as the US, as the British forces, or in the snow of Russia, which again is a completely different proposition. What have we got here? Oh, there we go. Some soldier cards. Well, while I have them out, let's have a quick look through some of the cards for the Ruskies. Here's some of their weapons, look. There you go. Look at that. The PTRD 41 rifle with a penetration of 2. Single shot bolt action. Scoped rifle. A cavalry sabre. A bayonet. Look at that for a bayonet. Pistol. So all the time you're deciding what weapons, PP Shah 43 SMG, what weapons you're going to kit out your squad with. Mortar. Oh, look. Classic. Brilliant. F1 grenade. 1928 machine gun. And so on. SMG again. And here's your squads. Fantastic. The pictures are fantastic. I absolutely love these. And there's a couple of new keywords in these. Hardy, because of the cold. Fantastic non-player soldiers. And you get to your player soldiers. Pavlov, Kalinin, Molotov, Konyev, Novikov, and Zhukov. Ah, that's a squad level card. So, those are my Russian guys. So I just bought the Russians and the British. But now, the other day, I decided to spice it up, and through my door came the Maquis. I fancied some French resistance action against my German hostiles. This is going to be tough. This is going to be different. And this is what we're going to play through. It's time to take one of those close looks into the game. Okay, so here we are back at the table. Maquis, the French resistance. Now, the first thing we need to do is choose a mission. And there are 8 missions to choose from, 8 mission cards in the Maquis expansion pack. Many expansion packs will have their own slightly more thematic mission cards. And of course, the core game itself has tons of its own mission cards for those US and German confrontations. So here are the more thematic French resistance mission cards. Let's have a quick look at them. Underground newspaper, Foggy Night. Very atmospheric, that one. I like that one. The Hour of the Wolf, decoded messages. Resistance is not futile. SOE resupply drop. Yes, look, a Dakota there, dropping supplies. A night on the town, and Qui Custodier. Qui Custodier? I've probably murdered that, but I'll go with Qui Custodier. Now, when choosing a mission, the main thing I'm bearing in mind at the moment is the fact that I'm going to do a playthrough, so it needs to be as short as I could possibly make it. So I'm looking at, one of the things I'm looking at is where the objective is going to be. And it gives us the objective here, look. For instance, this one is objective will be placed on space number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for instance. And that's a good indicator for how long the mission is going to take. So the smaller the number, the better if you're looking for a short mission. And along with the amount of turns you have to complete that mission. For instance, with this objective here, being on space number 5, the time you get to do that is 10. So at the top of the board, there's the mission timer, and you would get 10 turns in which to complete that mission. So that's what I'm doing when I look along here to choose a mission that I can successfully complete in the next video. So this is the shortest one by the look of it at the moment, Qui Custodier. Time would be 9 turns to reach and complete an objective placed on the number 4 spot along the bottom. One that really interests me is Foggy Night. It gives us 13 turns, and that's because the objective will be placed at number 6. I think, and this is only a quick decision, I'm going to choose Qui Custodier. So if I move those out of the way for the time being, and let's have a quick look at Qui Custodier. Mission card. So this is the card upon which we will start. Oh, good grief. Okay, the objective might be placed at number 4, so we don't have far to go, but the resources involved, only 32. So that's the amount of points we have on which to spend when buying our squad and their equipment. That is tiny. Right, okay. Okay, and the time we get is 9 turns. Objective, as I say, on number 4. Loadout -2. I noticed that on all the mission cards, all the loadout values were minus. In fact, up to -5, I think. This one is -2. Now, loadout is the amount of equipment that each of our personnel within our squad can carry. They have a number. Let's say loadout is 10. So they can carry 10 worth of weight, if you like, in weapons and equipment. But each of our squad members would have to -2 from that. So we've got to travel light if we're going to do this mission, Qui Custodier. Okay, decision made. That's our mission. And we'll place it in the number 1 spot on our board, because that's where we start. Now, it looks like we just happen to have 8 objective cards as well. Like so. And again, the core set, as do many other expansions, have loads of objective cards in them, so you can play straight away. If you get objective cards in national packs like this, it's because they're offering more thematic objectives for that particular nation or that particular deck of cards. And again, we've got 8 to choose from. We have Liberate the Town, Radio Tower Tango. So I guess that's to destroy the radio tower. A bomb for the minister. Wow, look at this. Assassinate the minister. A nod to the British-trained Czech mission of the SOE against Reinhard Heydrich during World War II. Hold the crossroads. Blow the bridge. railgun destruction, prison break. Ooh. Smuggle the pilot out. So we've got a downed aircraft there. We have to get to the pilot and smuggle him out. Wow. Okay, no idea what to choose here, really. Let's have a go at Liberate the Town, maybe. Let's have a quick look at that. Let's move these out of the way once again. Let's have a quick look at Liberate the Town. It has an entrance cost of 1, so that's the cost to actually enter that card. It's a town, so it's a structure. That's a key word there. It's a structure. Mission: secure the town from occupation forces. Collateral damage potential. On site, in other words, we have to be on site. We can't secure it from a distance. And we have to keep clear for 2 turns. Keep clear of enemy forces for 2 turns. And how many hostiles will appear at any one time on this particular card when we get to it? We look at how many resource points we had. And looking back over at the card, we only have 32 resource points to spend. So we look to find the break point there, 30 to 49, 2. So 2 strength worth of enemy hostiles will appear in this location. I'm going to go with this. It looks doable. Liberate the town. We're going to have a very small squad. What you have to bear in mind is that our little squad will be a very small part of the overall attempt to liberate the town. And I would say with the Maquis carrying out this liberation of this small town here, wherever that might be, it's going to be sort of, I'm guessing, yeah, we're setting our mission in sort of July, August, something like that, 1944. Now, we know from our mission card over there that we have to lay our objective in the number 4 slots. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our objective. So already we have our mission and our objective set up, ready to play this mission of Warfighter World War II Maquis. And so, in record short time, we have our play area set up. Okay, we have our event cards set up at the top there to draw from in case we get any events. We have our location deck there set up so that we can populate the area here to see which kind of terrain we'll be moving through. I kept calling those terrain cards, didn't I, earlier? Well, correctly, they're location cards. So they're set up there, shuffled, obviously. And here again, we have our enemy forces. This is the hostile deck for this game, set up as the German hostiles. Shuffled, and we're using frontline. I've decided not to use elite. This is going to be difficult enough as it is. So I'm not using any of the elite forces, just the standard frontline deck. And here we have the ridiculously mahoosive action deck, which we can draw a hand of cards for our player soldier or soldiers to use throughout the mission. This is the card we'll be starting on for Key Custodier. The timer, as it tells us in our mission, I've placed it on number 9 on our mission timer track there. So we're going to get 9 turns to complete this mission. Our objective card is placed in the number 4 position. And this is the objective card here, Liberate the Town. Our little unit of soldiers is going to play a small part in that. And this location card currently is inactive. So you put the inactive token on there like so. And now, this is where the game really begins. For me, half of the game is choosing your squad from the personnel you have and kitting them out, both with weapons and equipment and skills. This is where we're either going to win or lose this game. And it's a great part of the game. It's a big part of the fun for me is kitting out our soldiers for this mission on this objective. So let's go and do it right now. Okay, so here we are with our very minimal squad ready to go. Now look, I've just managed to choose 3. You see the Maquis here in blue. We have Maquis here as our player soldier. We have Couperon here as our non-player soldier. And we have as our squad soldier Sapphire. Now unfortunately very low values. If you remember from our mission card, we only have 32 resource points to spend on our squad, and that has to include their weapons and things like that. Had we more, and certainly some of the missions, the resource points for you are in the 60s, 70s and so on, we could have chosen from a fantastic array. I briefly showed you these before, of potential quite powerful members of our squad. But look at that, Vespers. Fantastic. Okay. But I'm very limited by those resource points. So we have our 3 squad members here in blue, and you can see them nice and clearly because they're in blue. Actually, I've noticed quite a lot of glare here. That's one of the DVG characteristics. They produce very shiny stuff. So that is somewhat to blame, but mainly to blame is the position I have my light in at the moment. So I'm sorry about that. I'll do something about that on the impending next video, the playthrough. Anyway, so we can see them quite clearly in blue. So who do we have? We have Maquis here. Now, 5 health points. So that's how many cards I'll be able to hold in my hand, action cards, at any one time, denoted by the number of health points there. He has a protection of 3 there and a movement value of 2. Now, coming with him, already paid for by using those 15 points, is Ghost and Marksman. So I have the Ghost and Marksman cards here, and that explains what the Ghost and Marksman characteristics mean. For instance, Marksman, add 1 to your ranged attack rolls. So that's quite good. Now, what I have had to pay for is his weapons. So he has a Maz 36 rifle because it only cost me 1. The loadout, though, the weight of it is 4. So he has a rifle and he's carrying with him some grenades, 4 grenades in fact. Each grenade costs 1 and weigh 1 each. So the loadout there is 4. The weight of the rifle was 4, so that's a total loadout of 8. He had a loadout of 10, minus 2 because of the mission, 8. So he's fully kitted out. That's as much as I could do for our player soldier there. So he's got a rifle, 4 grenades, and there's his 5 clips of ammunition, which do not add to the loadout. Soldier number 2 is a non-player soldier. He has a defensive capability of 2. He has a movement rating of 1. Now, when you pay 9 for a non-player soldier, like there, that was his resource cost, he already comes and you already paid for any skills and weapons he has. So he has already on his card the Maz 1924 submachine gun, which is here. Oh, and I forgot something there actually. I forgot his bipod. There we go, that's bipod deployed. And there's the bipod. So we start on that side. So it has a bipod, but it's subject to jamming. The reload number is 2. We'll come to that if it actually happens. So he gets that anyway because it's already on his card. The same as he gets his skills here. Forage, gunman and hip shooter. Forage, gunman and hip shooter. And we'll be explaining those as we go along. Finally, I have Sapphire. Sapphire was really cheap to buy, just 3 points. She has a movement value of 1, protection of 2. It's a squad level soldier. Now, squad level soldiers are relatively cheap because you don't tend to kit them out with additional stuff. They just come with a default value there. But she also comes with Ghost and Sacrifice as skills. There's Sacrifice there. She'll share Ghost with that one there. And 2 experience points. And there they are. 2 experience points which we can spend. And by the way, Couperin, he came with 1 experience point and no experience points for Maquis. So there we have our squad. And the only weapons, as I say, we have is a default weapon, rifle, a Sapphire, a submachine gun here, although it does have a bipod. Quite a small weapon, that. This Maz 1924 SMG. Quite a small weapon to be equipped with a bipod. That's interesting. And we have grenades, 4 of them, and we have the rifle. Let's add up those points then. 15 and 9, 24, and 3 is 27. The skills and weapons here do not get paid for. They're already paid for by paying for the card. These, however, have to be paid for. We said 27, 28 for the rifle, because that's a 1. And 4 grenades at 1 each comes to 32. That's our 32 resources, all paid up and ready to go. Wow. With this tiny squad, I think it's going to be a tough mission. We'll be part of greater French resistance units that are all converging to liberate the town. We have to clear the town of enemies and keep it clear for 2 full turns until the Allies can reach us. There we are, soldier number 1, 2, 3, right at the start on our mission card. Soldiers number 1, number 2, and number 3. And we're ready. Will we do it? Qui Custodier. Join us again soon. Thanks for watching. Come back for the playthrough. Bye-bye.